Okay, ladies and gentlemen, put a round of applause or some hearts in the like section because we have our guest here. It is none other than my mama, Mrs. Vanessa Smith, and she is here to discuss her story and her journey. So everybody, oh, they already giving you the love. I don't even got to say nothing.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing today? How you doing, Miss Anita? How you doing, Miss Denise? Everyone is showing you love. How are you doing today on your retired Thursday?
I'm doing great.
That is awesome. So let me start it off with the introduction as I always do. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Spirit of a Woman series. This is a book authored by me, and I requested some contributors to add their story to the book, and I'm interviewing them, and they are coming on here to share their stories, aka her story. And be sure to follow me on IG at IAMJLDOMOND, the same as my Facebook. And if you are interested in the book or any other merch that we have, it is on designed2create.org. Design, the number 2, create.org. Now, to get to the good stuff, please welcome Mrs. Vanessa Smith, and I'm going to get right into it. Why did you decide to bring your story to Spirit of a Woman?
Honestly, I brought it because you're my daughter, and I definitely wanted to support you. So that's number one. And I did it also so that someone else could be inspired. You don't know what people are going through in life, and it might be a similar story. So I wanted to share it with the sisterhood.
All right. So give a little bit of background of yourself. I know you're not supposed to ask, but are you willing to tell your age?
Absolutely. I thank God for 68 wonderful, glorious years.
All right.
And, yes, and I'm a retiree from Downstate Medical Center after 41 years, and I was working in the medical records department, and that was a wonderful, great experience for me. I fell in love with so many people and experienced so many different things working with people who came for their medical records and couldn't afford their medical records, and I will always try to lend a helping hand. Just working as a people's person, that's who what I'm about, and I just enjoyed it. But I'm more than happy to enjoy this retirement.
I know that's right. And we know that you're enjoying this retirement and you put in your work, but you are someone that don't like to stop. Like, you played sports, you are always on the go. Like, you're an athlete, you are a cheerleader,
Yes.
You are someone who's super active in the church.
Yes.
You are always throwing events for friends and families. And something happened that kind of put that to a pause. I want you to take me back to the day that, before we get to the day, did you have any inclination that something may be going on with you before you went to the doctor?
Absolutely. Speaking of the breast cancer, I've always felt something was wrong. My breast was disfigured, and it wasn't a lump. It was just a variety of things going on in my breast. It was like a railroad track, like so many different feelings that I got, but never a lump. It was a really strange feeling, and I knew something was going on. And you know, may he rest in peace. The day William was supposed to be funeralized, I got a letter a call the day before, and the doctor told me that I need to come back.
Sorry, just for the people who are listening. Now, you are a twin.
Right, correct.
And your twin, William, was her husband.
Correct.
So that it's interesting, like when you're looking at it from a lens of coincidences or things of that nature. So your twin is going through a tumultuous moment. And at
Yes.
the same time that your twin is going through a tumultuous moment, you
Yeah.
get a letter. Go ahead.
I get a call, and I'm glad I was there for the funeral, but I couldn't go for the burial because they told me to get back to the hospital and have another mammogram done. And you know, when you're sitting through a mammogram, you always panicking because they tell you, don't get dressed, don't get dressed. And they checking your screens to make sure everything is good. And they told me, I'm watching everybody else leave the the mammogram department, and I'm sitting there saying, "Oh my God, why am I still sitting here? Everybody is going but me." And then when you get back in, they tell you we got to do the test over, and then they bring in another nurse to come in and look at your film, but they can't tell me anything. And I'm saying, what's wrong? What's wrong? They said your doctor will share it with you. So I was like going crazy. My doctor shared with me, so I got to wait. So they said, unfortunately, you have to wait. So I forgot about it. Like I said, you know, my sister needed me in the Poconos. I made a flight. I touched, you know, got in the car, got up there to see her, be with her during her time of bereavement. And the day before, the day of the funeral, I got the call saying that you need to hurry back. We need another film. So I'm saying, oh Lord, at this time where my sister really need me, I need to go to the cemetery. But I called her, she understood, and I told her I can't make it. I gotta get back to Brooklyn. So as soon as I got home, I went straight to the you know, to Doshi where they have do the mammogram, and she did another one, and then again they couldn't tell me anything. So now I'm calling my OBGYN doctor and I'm saying, listen, what's going on? And so she said, I need you to come in. So I said, oh boy. So then I said, just tell me, just tell me. She said, I need you to come in. So I go in, and of course, that's when she gave me the bad news and said that you know, so I'm saying, what stage am I? Am I in the stage or what? She said, we won't know anything. We have to do surgery. So my most fear was that if it spread, that was my biggest fear. You know, after they check your lymph nodes, I'm saying, Lord Jesus, please don't let nothing has spread it. But throughout the whole cancer thing, I wasn't afraid.
Okay, we're not gonna go all the way to that. I don't want you to go too far. First, I want to backtrack just a little bit. You are someone that I know that goes to the doctor. Like you make your appointments. You're not like me. Like something has to show up physically for me to feel like, oh snap, I need to go. So
Right,
you started the conversation saying for a while you had felt something. If you're
right.
going to the doctor and you're feeling something, are you communicating this to your doctor? And if so, what are they telling you? Because how long did you feel this before that happened?
Okay, the funny thing is I have a wonderful, well, I had, he retired, a wonderful primary doctor. He don't only just check your vitals and all of that. He said, Vanessa, I want you to go have a sonogram. Now, he's not my OBGYN doctor. He's just my primary doctor. He said, I just want you to go have a sonogram on your breast. They found absolutely nothing. This was 6 months prior to them finding out that I had cancer. So he was in shock when he found out that I actually had cancer, because he said, you just was at the doctor's office 6 months ago so they tell you to go once a year. So I'm saying, he telling me 6 months you was just having a sonogram. A 3D sonogram was supposed to show more than a regular mammogram. And at that point, they did not see anything. So
Wow.
anything at this time. He just told me to go have a sonogram. For whatever reason, he asked me to do that. So I was feeling
Well,
like
I will just say this, sorry to cut you off again. So I went for my first mammogram and they asked me to go do a sonogram, aka an ultrasound, I'm assuming. And the reason they gave me is because not only because of the history, you know, that it had showed up in another family member, but because I had dense breast tissue.
Right.
So for those who are familiar with their breasts, if your doctor, I knew that I had something like it felt a little chunky, but I didn't know like what to define it is. But for anyone who feels their breast and it may feel a little bit denser, inquire about that sonogram or ultrasound option as an extra layer than the regular doctor just checking you with their hands, because the ultrasound will get a little bit deeper. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so now I'm going to my primary. He's telling me, I can't believe you have cancer. I don't believe this. The funny thing is the OGSBYN doctor referred me to another doctor in Brooklyn. I went to this doctor, and a black doctor. They not only brought in the doctor that was checking my breast, because I had to have a biopsy done after that. So the doctor, they bring in another guy, a man inside the room with the nurse, and I'm saying, why do I have to have him here? Oh, he's a plastic surgeon. So their mind had already, knowing that I had great insurance, their mind had already told me that they was going to do a mastectomy on both of my breasts. Nothing was wrong with my left breast, but they was going to do a mastectomy on both of my breasts.
And a mastectomy is, just so people,
they cut my breasts off.
They were removing both of your breasts.
Yes, they gave me the drainage system that I had to wrap around the drain. Oh, they did the whole nine. Like, I was really going crazy at this time. Thank God for my husband. He said, no, no, no. Because at this time, my primary was on vacation. And thank God for Denise. She went down to the clinic to see if he was working. I asked her to go see if he's there. And she called me right back and said, he told me for you to come in right away, come in right away. So he couldn't believe that I actually had, cancer. So after I went to these two black doctors, and they taking on my insurance, even Smitty's military insurance and everything, and tell me how they're going to do the cutting. And then on Good Friday, I'll never forget it. It was Good Friday. They scheduled my appointment to have the mastectomies on Good Friday. And Smitty came into the doctor and said, you can't do a lumpectomy, which is just cut out, and they told him, no, the tumors are too close to each other, so there's no way that we're going to have to cut off the breast. So my husband was like in tears. He said, no, Vanessa, no, we are not gonna go to this doctor. We waiting for Dr. DeRose to come off from vacation. But I said, but he's not answering the phone. So that's when 2 days later, I called Denise. I said, go see if he's in the clinic, because he was working at downstate as well as his private practice. And thank God when Denise went and told him, right away, he told her to tell her, come in right away, come in right away. And he looked at my mammogram report, and he said, there's nothing wrong with your other breast. Why are they asking for a mastectomy to be done? So he said, you're not going there. I'm sending you to Manhattan, to Mount Sinai Hospital. Now, thank God for the second opinions, and thank God when you have a good doctor, and thank God when you have a good doctor that's not all about your insurance money. And I know God put him in our lives for a reason, because he saved my life. And when he said he called the doctor, and at this time, mind you, I'm supposed to go get prepped for my surgery the next day. And my primary is saying, I'm calling her right now. You're not going anywhere. They literally cursed out my doctor because she said, you're not a OBS GYN doctor. You don't know what's going on. And he said, I know enough to know that she's going to get a second opinion. He sent me to where his mother-in-law goes, Mount Sinai, but I was Francine testified. I was the only black one in there. They sit you in there, take you in and out. We go to the doctors now. Our black, unfortunately, we have doctors, we got to sit for hours to be seen for 10 minutes. When I went to this doctor in Manhattan, I didn't have any problems. Everything went boom, 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 boom. The doctor that I had, her name was Dr. Exbrook. She was in charge of the lady from Brooklyn Hospital that they just came back from a conference. And she said, why would she tell you to have both of your breasts removed? I'm feeling your breasts and your lumps are not that close together and you don't need nothing but an appectomy. So I was like, oh my God, thank God for the second opinion. So now my OBSGYN doctor is mad. She's calling me up. Oh, I'm just calling to check on you. No, you wasn't, because she referred me to this black doctor and she just wanted to know. She said, what happened? How come you didn't go to her? I said, simply because I needed a second opinion because she was leading me down the path of taking both of my breasts off. So I even wrote a letter to the Department of Health. I went through the whole thing because I didn't want another black woman. When you never had cancer in your life, you're desperate. So it doesn't matter who you see, just get the cancer out. That's all your mind is focused on. I went to that doctor. Me and my husband sat in the lobby from 9 o'clock. I'm not exaggerating. He'll come and tell you the same thing. 9 o'clock in the morning, we got there for our appointment. You know what time they seen me? 5 p.m. in the evening when everybody was leaving and I needed blood drawn and nobody was there to draw my blood. And this nurse said, I haven't done blood in 24 years, but I hope I do it right. But I feel so bad you sitting here. You bad enough you sitting there with breast cancer and the treatment you get from your hospitals and your own color was horrendous. So I was like, oh my God. Thank God for Dr. DeRose. Thank God for Dr. DeRose.
And just to stay right there really quick, because they're all saying it in the chats, and I was gonna get there. They saying it, but the importance of a second opinion is high level. Like you, especially when it comes to surgeries and procedures, second opinion is high level. I had a friend my age who went to the hospital and they said she just went for a checkup, and without a second opinion, without her primary care doctor having any knowledge, she went in there and within 30 minutes they had her on a table doing a hysterectomy on her. And she had no clue what was going on. She just went with what they told him. And people my age don't understand that things happen in an instant. So we're not prepared for instant situations. We're not prepared that when a checkup happens, that things could possibly be going left. And you should always, A, have your primary care doctor name on deck. B, don't let nobody cut you open without a second opinion. And C, if possible, go to the doctor with someone. Because like she said, when you're desperate and you have a doctor who you're looking at, who's supposed to be giving you good information, you'll just say, okay, not knowing if that procedure didn't have to happen, if it was really just about insurance. So those are things that as a community, especially women, especially Black women, we know that the rate, 3 times the rate die in the hospitals. Yeah. Definitely, no matter what age you are, you should have that information. Okay.
Absolutely. And I don't even know how they gave her surgery without primary, because they couldn't touch me without my primary's consent.
Well, so this was you got to understand. That's why I said someone my age who is scared. If you're scared and you're 40, imagine somebody my age who went in for a checkup not expecting to hear that. They don't know what to do. They just saying take it out, like you said.
That's what I was. That's where I was at. Take them off, cut them off, so I don't have to worry about the other one getting cancer. That was my whole mentality. So I said, and then when I got to my primary, and my husband literally cried, "No, you going for? No, Vanessa, don't go tomorrow. No, don't go." And they blowing up my phone while I'm talking to my primary. And he said, "Give me that phone." He said, "She's not going to you. She's going for a second opinion."
I'm looking at her. So now you get to the second opinion. And what happens there?
A whole new world opened up for me. Dr. Exabrook, she examined me by the referral of Dr. DeRose because they know each other personally. And she said, Vanessa, you don't need a mastectomy. And I'm going to speak to Dr. Miss, whatever her, I can't even remember her name. I'm going to speak to her. I was just with her this weekend and ask her what made her give the decision to give you a mastectomy on both of your breasts. She said, no, you're not going back to her. I'm going to take you as a patient. And I said, thank you, Jesus. So just before the surgery, you got to get prepped with so many things. It was so much to go through. The biopsies, you laying face down with your breasts hanging out, and you can't move for half an hour. You just laying in this machine for a half an hour, and they say if you move, they got to do it again. Then just the day of the surgery, now hear this one, the day of the surgery, I got to go to another place before I actually go get surgery, and they're going to stick needles in your breast where they see the tumors at, which they found 7 tumors in one breast, plus particles. So I had a whole lot of little ones developing, and it was 7. And I had, Francine was with me, and boy, did it hurt, because the guy said, I'm sorry, but they literally take needles, stick it in the breast, mark it where the tumor is. So I'm walking around like 6, 7 needles, and they Band-Aid it down, tape it down, and you can't move, because that's where the doctor's gonna do surgery. So the needles gotta stay in there until they actually do the surgery. So they do schedule the surgery the same day that they do this, marking of your breast. So thank God for Francine. Thank God for Francine again. And Janice is the same thing. Francine was there. Thank God
Francine is your sister.
Yeah, Francine, she called me 6. She said, what time you got to be there? I said, 6 in the morning. She said, I'm going with you. I said, and then I was so blessed. And even before leading up to the surgery, Francine church members came to the house. They prayed for me. I had Cora Lee come in late at night praying for me. I had so many people surrounding their love for me. And that support system is so important to have when you're going through something like this. And like I said, my main thing was, did it spread? When you open me up, did it spread? But once I found out from the mammogram from my primary, the lymph nodes was fine. They didn't find anything that spread it. So when I really went into surgery, I felt so relaxed. I felt so relaxed because I already knew God was bringing me through it. So I just felt so relaxed. I felt good. When Francine and Smitty came in the room to see me, I was up eating graham crackers. What's up, y'all? And they couldn't believe it. I mean, the surgery, thank God for this doctor. I don't even have a scar from where I had my surgery. That's
and
how.
You still have both breasts.
Yeah, and I still have my breast. One might be a little smaller. That one might be smaller than the other. But like she said, you got your breast. So that experience was horrific. And the recovery period was just a blessing. All my family came in from the Poconos to see me. And that day I was in the bed, Beverly, Francine, Janice, everybody came to see me. Family is so important in a time of crisis. And one thing I got to say about my family, we could curse each other out. We could go ham with each other, but don't mess with us. Don't talk about each other. And when we need each other, we are there, 150.
So speaking of that, so emotionally, while you're going through this, because how long between the diagnosis and the actual surgery?
About 2 months.
2 months. So within this 2 months, what is life looking like for you? Because like I said, you are somebody that don't stop. You enjoy, sports, party, whatever. What did that time look like for you physically?
Okay, mentally, when I first was told I had the actually cancer, I broke down in the car with my husband. That was the only time I really broke down. And then one day I was in the shower talking to God. I said, God, I'm not afraid to die. I'm really not afraid to die, but I'm not ready to die. And why did you give this to me? Because you know I can handle it. And that's how I was speaking to him in the shower. And that was the second time that I just broke down and cried. And that's when I
It's okay.
told my mother I was coming, told my father. Okay, so that was the one time that I really broke down while I was by myself in the shower, and I just let it out because I never questioned God why. I never questioned him why. I just said, you gave this to I have it because I could handle it. And
Okay.
I really felt in my heart and spirit that I could handle it.
So,
And
go ahead.
so that's why I guess I was so at peace when I actually had the surgery, because, it's like one surgery, two surgeries, three surgeries, how many more surgeries I'm going to have? I had two others prior.
Wait. So we're gonna go to your story. I'm gonna read a little excerpt from your book really quick. Um, did you find your book? No, it's okay. I'm
Sorry.
gonna I'm gonna read this for you. These were her words from her excerpt in the book. I have been through 3 surgeries: hysterectomy, small bowel obstruction, and breast cancer. But through it all, I know who I am. I'm a loving wife, mother, and grandmother. I love the Lord, and He has kept me through it all. Are you still wondering who I am? I am a survivor. So be encouraged. You are not alone. Find courage in my story. You can get through it.
Amen.
Amen. Those were your words. So,
Amen.
um, so your faith actually didn't deplete. You stuck through it. You were able to steadfast. Now, I will say this. So family members have sometimes family members don't know what roles to play. As my mother, I personally feel like I was not quote unquote supportive to you. And I feel like that was because even I remember a phone call we had where there was a moment where you were doubting, and I was like, whose report do you believe? Like, I just gave you the toughen up, conversation. And you was like, you're right, you're right, you're right. But I wasn't soft with you. And I feel like in our communities, the Black woman, the Black mother is always strong, is always tough. I can't really count how many times I've actually seen you cry. So for me, it was hard for me to, in my mind, to be like, she's in a vulnerable place. So I kept treating you like nothing was wrong. Because in my mind, you never show me anything is wrong. And it's interesting because I'm able to see past other people in regular day-to-day life. But I think part of it for me was if I looked at it, I would have to accept that there would be a possible different outcome. So I wanted to just touch a little bit on how important it is for us as Black women to be able to be comfortable being vulnerable with each other and showing that, there's strength in your crying and being comfortable showing that to one another so that we know how to properly respond. Because I feel like I should have been there more. And then when I look back, it's just because I'm so used to you being this superwoman. So just a little bit. So I just wanted to mention like that, like as a community, we have this strong Black woman thing going on. And I behoove all of us to allow ourselves to be vulnerable to people that make us feel like it's a safe space.
Well, first, I want you to know that I never felt any kind of way for you not being there. You were there, but you as my daughter, sometimes children can't take to see their parents going through something. So I looked at it as, I don't want to upset you. I don't want you to be upset. So I looked at it as, I know if I need my daughter, she's going to be there for me. But I looked at it as a thing where I can't deal looking at my mother like this. I can't deal. That's how I was with my mother when she was on her dying bed. I had to leave. I can't. So I didn't feel no kind of way with you. So I want you to know that right now. It was no problem with, with that. So, but I did have a strong support system, and, my family, my sisters mainly, and my husband. So, like I said, even though
Arissa, our cousin, well, I think she's younger than me. Yeah, little cousin, she used to call you all the time.
Arissa was Arissa called me almost every single day, checking on me. Auntie, you okay? Auntie, are you okay? You good? You good? I'm like, my nieces and it's just been so wonderful. I had calls from all of my nieces and nephews just about. And like I said, it was just a beautiful thing to know that you have that strong support system. As far as friends go, being supporters during that time, well, I'm not looking at the friends that I have today. I'm looking at more of, Denise always been there for me, so I've just put that there. When I was in the hospital with the other surgeries, she was my ride or die, so I can't say enough about her. But one in particular that I was always there for, they didn't show that kind of love towards me when I was sick, but when they got sick and they called me, I ran there, because you just never try to put yourself in a situation to do a tick for attack.
Right.
You just go with the flow, because God honors that. He honors when you are, even with your enemy, if your enemy is going through something and you go pray for that person, God honors that. So I never looked at it for tick for tack. But because I had a strong support system, I had no worries about anything. What I needed was there. My husband, 24, it was just a wonderful feeling to have, Rita was there for me. She called me. We wasn't even speaking at the time, but she was the one that gave me that call and prayed for me. And she called every day after that, just about. So, it's a beautiful thing. But like I said, don't feel no kind of way about that, because I felt the same way about my mom. So, I understood that.
Okay. What is something that you would want? Wait, no, before I even get to that. So now we have had the procedure. Now what happens after this? What is life looking like for you now? What is your mentality now? Do you think that you're a different person from when before and after?
Oh, absolutely. You're more careful of what you eat, the things you eat, put in your body, and because they tell you, everybody was telling me different things, what to eat, what not to eat, going through that. So I went through that period. And then, going for radiation right after the surgery for 8 weeks. And you can't miss a day. You got to be there every single day, Monday through Friday. You get Saturday and Sunday off. And then for 8 straight weeks, I let somebody go with me the first couple of times, but the radiation was a breeze. But unfortunately, my whole right breast, which had no cancer at all, is white, because the radiation, and I'm going to blame myself for this, because in my mind, I was saying, they give you a robe to put on, and as they give you the radiation, I'm really exposing my other breast,
Okay.
the radiation, because I'm saying, God, if I got something in here, kill it, just kill both of them at the same time. So I definitely got bad repercussions from that I have to live with, because I didn't even know my skin was peeling off at the time. until I came home and looked in the mirror and said, "What is this?" But I know it was because of my negligence. So I did have a court case with it, but I just let it burn out because I was just thanking God that I came through the cancer. Money's not everything. And I just said, let me let this go. God delivered me,
Right.
you know. And so,
What about your
but
mindset? Are there things or perspectives on life that changed after this?
the only thing that I would say is, yes, I loved and respected my family more, my friends more. I appreciated life more. I just wanted to do more with people because, like I said, this time is only, we just here for a minute. And it got me more involved in different things with my friends and having bikini with the retirees, having bikini night once a month once a month, summertime, going to the Canarsie Pier with my retiree friends that we all work together, keeping that bond together. And when any one of us is in need, we are definitely bonded together. We are there for each other. I can name all the people in the group right now. And I mean, I have the most beautiful group of people in my life, and I'm blessed to have them. They come once a month for Bikino from September to June, and from June to August, we're at the pier. We haven't
Okay,
been there.
so you still throwing parties, you still enjoy yourself. You got even more invested in the church.
I'm appreciating life, and I give of myself to the church. I do my tithes. I give my time. Whatever needs to be done. I'm a workaholic as a trustee in my church, knowing that the others are working. I'm there a lot of times just doing what I got to do by myself, thanking God for the opportunity. So I threw myself into so much stuff because I don't know when this time, it makes you think how much time you got left when something like this happens. So you want to throw yourself into everything that you possibly can, live each day. It's not about, for me, partying. Everybody get that word partying when it comes to me, but it's not partying for me. It's getting together with my peers.
It's okay.
And
It's okay, Miss Vanessa. It's a party. It's a party.
no,
It's a party. Look, it's a party. Like, stop it.
it's living my life to the fullness.
And you living your life like a party, and you deserve to. You're retired, and you a survivor. Stop it. Miss Tiana said she want to be like you when you grow up. Just embrace it. You have a good time. You throw parties. It is what it is. There is no shame in the word party.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying it's a shame, but that's not my life. I have gatherings, I have card games, I have fish fries,
Okay, Miss Vanessa, we gonna let you live in your not want to call it a party. We'll call it a weekly celebration. Okay, ma'am. So
Yes.
what is something you will want? It's called creating memories. Your good sis came through with the right words. You're creating memories.
Oh yes, thank you, Denise.
So what is something you would want young women to Joy said it's a fiesta. What would you want young women to take from your story, or older women, like just women? What do you want people? Because men can get breast cancer too now.
Right.
And men can get prostate cancer. So we need the men to be checking on themselves. We know that y'all don't like going, but after 40, get it done. All right. So what would you want what would you want people to take from your story?
I would like for you to have faith in your life, always be mindful who he is. And I want to leave everyone with this, young, old, and everyone, for what I would have to say to encourage you all. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And that's coming from Philippians 4:6. Let your requests be known to God because he is the one who hears. And I'll take it a little further with Psalms 34:17. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. So I want you to go with that. That's what I want you to take from this story, that in spite of what went on in my life, 3 surgeries, going through some sicknesses, I always held on to my faith. I never got angry with God under any circumstances because that man who was stoned to death, who am I? So I want you to take from this faith.
Ooh.
Hold on to your faith and never, ever let nobody steal it from you. So that's what I want you to know. And remember, when you are down and out and in trouble, go to Philippians 4:6 and let God speak to your spirit.
Amen. Coming over here trying to evangelize, give us a little quick sermon. I love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, there were so many jewels in this, from how we need to better take care of ourselves and be prepared for hospital information. Have your primary care doctor on point. Make sure you get second opinions. If you can, don't go to the hospital by yourself. And when you're afraid, don't make decisions hastily when it comes to them saying they got to cut you open. Keep your faith. You just left us with a lot of, and keep celebrating life no matter what. Okay. And I appreciate you and thank you for coming out here and sharing your story with someone who may need it and someone who may be going through it. And if you're not going through it, for people that are with people and not sure how to be there for them, what can people do? Because sometimes people just don't know what to do. They're like, I can't say anything to make them feel better. I'm watching them go through things. Not every story is as, it turns out, as, you know, as positive as this one. Some people have to watch, you know, family members and loved ones go in the opposite direction. So what do you say to those people who are trying to figure out what they can do when they are watching their loved one go through this?
Sometimes there's nothing you could do. And I heard it from my pastor when Faye lost her husband. He says, I don't have no words for you. Sometimes we don't have control of what God has for us. We have no control of situations. We have no control of illnesses, sicknesses. We have no control over that. Only God has the final say in all things. So I would say, if somebody is going through something, you know the word of prayer, or even if sometimes people don't even want to hear your prayer because they in pain. Nobody don't want to hear you talking about, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I don't need nobody telling me when my mother passed. I know how you feel. I know you going what you're going through. Sometimes you just need to hug me and say, I love you. And sometimes there's just no words. There's no words to share with people. Whatever the situation is, sometimes it's just, I'm here for you and I love you. That's all you need to say, to let them know that no matter what the situation is, whenever somebody's going through, just be there for them. That's all. You don't have to say words. Your action speaks louder than your words anyway. So act on it instead of speaking on it.
I love that. Thank you. And as usual, you know, we've had 2 winners. Miss Tiana, who got her gift today. So shout out, Miss Tiana. I'm waiting for a picture of you wearing the outfit. And we're also going to have another question game. First of all, everybody, spread the chat with hearts. Give a heart and a bunch of likes for Miss Vanessa Smith. A round of applause, a round of love for her sharing her story with us and being vulnerable with us. And I hope everyone got something for it. And as usual, I end this off from a poem that I wrote from the spirit of a woman. However, I will give the trivia question first. And when I'm done, I will check the answer box. The question is, Don't respond if both of them not there. Give me both scriptures that Mrs. Vanessa Smith just told us for some free Spirit of a Woman merch. Time is ticking while I do this poem. And the name of this poem is dedicated, the poem is dedicated to you and everyone listening. And it's called Count Your Blessings. I woke up this morning, took a deep breath, opened my eyes, felt my heart beat in my chest, moved my limbs, both arms and feet. Fingers held onto the handle as I brushed my teeth. Looked in my closet, it had options to wear. Went in the fridge, and it wasn't there. What's my move? TV, music, laptop? Let me turn on this fan or AC. It's getting a little hot. Everything isn't perfect, but I have another day to figure it out. Comprehended conversations I had and was able to respond right back. There was no need to call 911 or the ambulance today because I'm safe, and so far everyone that I know is okay. Making plans with Bay, I end the call with Lord willing, because I know entering in tomorrow is a privilege. See, these are things most of us do on the daily, so we disregard how many people can't claim this. Nothing is old, so don't be careless. Yes, things could be better, but they definitely could be worse. So to begin each day, don't check your phone. Count your blessings first.
All right. All right. All
Thank
right.
you. Now, I'm going to look to see. Now, I see people do not follow directions. I said, give me both. And it's only one person. Two people gave me both, and both of those people cannot be winners. Sorry, Kimberly, and sorry, Gia. So, unfortunately, nobody is winning today. Okay, I'll try this one more time. Kimberly got it right. Philippians 4:6, Psalms 37. Those were the scriptures, right?
No.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, Philippians 4:6 is Psalms 34?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gia got it. Gia can't win. So I'm going to try one more question, and nobody that works with her can answer this. What is the name of the job that Miss Vanessa Smith, just retired from after 41 years of working? What was the name of her job? Don't let no cousins and no sisters answer. Y'all got 3 minutes and we closing out. Thank you, everybody, for joining another series. Look at her. I just said no sisters answer, and she gonna say medical records. I said, what is the name of the hospital? See, y'all don't listen. I did not say no position. I did not say where she worked, what she did. I said where. What was the name of the hospital? Yeah, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. Y'all all getting canceled. Y'all all getting canceled. The name of her job was not medical records, okay? It's over. Oh, Miss Rita, finally you saved us. Hospital. Thank you. Thank you. See, Mama Faye heard me because y'all be trying to make me feel like I'm crazy. Mama Faye heard me. That's the hospital. So, Miss Rita, you will be getting some free Spirit of a Woman merchandise, and you will join the likes of Miss Denise and Miss Tiana in the winner's circle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining me on the 3rd episode of the Spirit of a Woman series. And if you want to follow me on IG, it's IAMJLDOMOND, like my name on Facebook. And if you want to go check out some merch, go to design2create.org, the number 2. And again, let's give our lovely guests some more love on it. And next time I see you will be next Thursday at 7 p.m. with another amazing guest. You don't want to miss it. Thank you. And it is your time.
I just want to thank everybody who turned in and came on to support me. I love you guys. God bless you.
Yes, they are filling it with hearts and likes. They are showing their love to you. Miss Anita always coming through. Mr. Dwayne, Aunt Janice, Miss Denise, Miss Rita, Gian, Kim, Cheryl, everybody. I saw Lisa on here. So many people. I hope I see y'all next week because it's going to get, as my Uncle William used to say, goodier and goodier. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And as I always say, it's your time to inspire. Let your light shine. Till next time. Peace.
Okay.